Hello and welcome back. So it's been a little while for me. I've been away from a computer for about a week now. So today is Monday, so I'm a day off. So this will probably come out hopefully on Tuesday. So hopefully get some stuff done. I have done a lot of our research into Thaumcraft to give us a bit of a boost. And right now we're going to flip around so you can see what I'm working on currently. What we're doing here is I'm just moving some of these nodes into a location where they can start kind of beating on each other. I've been doing a little bit of node hunting. These are kind of my spares down here right now. And what I'm using here is a teleposer from Blood Magic. Actually, really easy gadgets to make, and once you've got the ability to make them, I mean they're really nice. And you can see it's pretty basic, and we've got enough Ender Pearls to last a while. 2,000 life points, and Ender Pearl gives you one of these focuses. You want to say at least a couple Ender Pearls to do this, because like you need 2 per, so 3 per each one of these you want to do. Plus you need at least one of these spare to actually make it work. But give them a redstone signal and they jump to wherever they're going and you're good to go. Let's get this back in place really quick so I remember where the spacing is. I've got these spots spaced out, so if I put a node where each one of these torches are, they won't bug each other. Where right now, I want them to, so I'm putting them closer together. Now, the really big thing here, let's just take this off, no peeking, is I made us an infusion home. So we can actually get going on that. So there have been some changes. So as you can see here, we've been, been kind of busy for the last 2 days. I think I got back into town Saturday, started working on this really steadily on Sunday. So been doing that. And you can kind of see what we're going for here. I'm not done with the ceiling yet. That's kind of bugging me still. So hopefully we'll get that done sometime in the next few episodes. I'm going to put the helmet back on so you can see what else I've got in here. So you can see I've got some nodes. And going for one of each of the primal elements. The fire is the only one I don't really have a good one of yet. Only got 50, so it's not quite as glowy as the other ones. And that's a weird effect. Now, in each of the corners here, though, I do have one of these, which is a pure node. Each of the 4 corners has one. I've also got one, where is he? Right there. That one's straight down below me. That's a pure node. It's next to the little grinder room. Every once in a while a wisp appears in there. I've generated and moved 2 more pure nodes up into the wall of the castle with the goal of slowly getting the wall of this castle converted to a magical biome, kind of as a taint protection. These are in here because they're slowly converting this biome in here into magical forest. You can see where I'm standing right now in the either on the right side under the map or LC127B, and it says magical forest like 4 lines up from the bottom there on the left. So this is converting this over as well, which means if I do screw up in here somehow and taint starts to spread, these will prevent it from getting anywhere. So that's kind of what we're going for here. And you can see I have a spot here set out for an infusion array. I've been doing quite a bit of research and everything and going into Thaumcraft, and I've got to the point where there are probably 3, maybe 5 things where I got to that point and it's like, all right, I'm going to make this and then I'm going to move on. Everything's going to be great. It's like, wait, no. Need to make sure I don't do any more of this stuff off camera because I have done quite a bit of this. Like you can see I've got some things built over here. I mean, I built a little deconstruction table and things like that. So I've still got our first golem. He is going to be a decanting golem eventually because Newt, who is way over there in the witchery area, has requested a minion to do his cauldron filling for him. So that's going to be our goal. I did make some of these blood scrivers tools, which I think is a bottle of life essence. Yeah. So it just took one of the weaker orbs. It's a bucket of life essence, which you get by tossing an empty bucket into the blood altar, and this stuff. They work really good. You can't use them to create this table, though. You have to use it with a normal inkwell first to create the table, and then open it back up and put this one in here. But it never runs out, so it's fantastic. That's what I've been using. See, I went through 3 of these before I got to that point. A little more exploring. As you can see, I've been doing a lot of silverwood harvesting. Getting these things built up. Starting on the arcane stone, because you can kind of see here, this stuff is arcane stone. It's just chiseled. So I've got the engraved symbol and the glowing symbol. That's what I'm using here. And then glowing moon. The stuff up here, this is dark glass. So this room is vampire safe currently. I'm trying to keep that in mind as I build these rooms to try and keep them so I can come into them, because I still want to go vampire. Just not quite to the point yet where I'm not going to incinerate myself every time I do anything. But so kind of what we're sitting on right now, I want the infusion in place. My goal for this episode is to get the infusion array running, get the alchemical furnace running, even if it's in a temporary location like this stuff is, and get a decanting golem built. So those are the things I want to get done this episode. And then one more thing about this room. By reading online the radius of instability, where it checks to find non-symmetrical, whatever the heck that actual word is, from the orb here, there's 12 blocks out to this line right here. So everything beyond that line is outside of the radius. So as long as everything with inside this or in this area is symmetrical, I'm good. We won't affect the stability. But I also have 10 blocks above it to work with, and 5 blocks below the matrix, which I think will be floating a little above head level here. So what we'll have to do is, I think we've only got 1 or 2 blocks worth of space below this floor, but what I want to do is coat that in like zombie heads or something. So you can see I carved it out down here, because if I can coat this entire radius here up to this line in heads, or any type of stability increasing thing, it'll work really good. Our last base, I think, up until we got to the aquarium stuff in whichever one that, I can't remember which one that's called, but when we got up to that stuff where it's extremely dangerous, that's when we started seeing things, and we didn't have even that many skulls in here. So if I can coat the entire bottom in it, should be good to go on that. But I think that's caught up on most of the things I've done. I'm sure I'll remember more things as I go. So just kind of get going. So that's what I've been working on here is these things. I mean, I've got a lot of things you can see opened up in research. There's a lot of things I haven't bought yet, but I've got a lot of our research completed, which is why I want to start doing these things. I need to get that one done. Magic mirrors are cool. And some of the golem things are in place. This is the one right here I want to build, the decanting golem. So I'm going to start going. I'm going to get the components necessary built, the necessary components built for the infusion array, hopefully the alchemical furnace, and let's see where we're going there. But once I get to the point where I'm going to start crafting the actual infusion array and the furnace, I will be back. All right, and we're back. Okay, the goal here right now is, our short-term goal, is to get the infusion array going. Looking back at the diagram, I may have these too far out, so we'll take a look. But we'll see. Right now, what we're going to do, we're going to make first the runic matrix, then we're going to make some of these arcane pedestals, and then we're going to assemble it, and hopefully it works. So first thing we need the matrix. So the matrix requires 40 ordo. It requires a couple of these arcane stones, which you saw me make earlier, which is basically just a ring of normal stone around any of the shards in the middle. Takes, I want to say 1 fire, 1 earth. I can't remember, something like that. It doesn't take much, but it takes it for each set you make. But we're going to do this here first. We want the runic matrix, so we got that. And running low on order now, but either way, now we're going to move on to the next one. This is where we need our pedestals. So this is where we need some air. I made 8 of these to begin with, because that'll give us our initial pattern. And now we need 4 of these, which don't require any power. So, now what we need to do is, this is why I'm not really sure if that's going to work, because these are only 1 block away, and mine are 2, so we'll see. So we start out with another pedestal. Nuts. Okay, so 1 more pedestal. So we need 1 more of these. That'll give us a spare one, but who's counting? So the very first thing we need to do is this needs to go in the middle. That's why I put all these little glowing runes here as markers. So that one goes there. These go here, 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 and here. Then we put the smooth ones on top, and then we put one of the... not like that. Give me that back. Okay, so now let's try this again. 1 on top, and then the matrix. Break that one because it's not supposed to be there. Now, in theory, if I've done this right, how much power does this take? 25 of everything. So, how much juice do we have in our wand? A little low on order. Did one of, oh, that's right, I made all these pures. So, we go down to the bullying pit. And one of these had order on it. So we'll drain a little off that one. It's going to really seriously mess up the combination there, but I'm really not that concerned about it. That gives us the number we need. one of the nice things about having these pures here is if I can just find one pure Peridito, which I kind of had down there, but I got rid of it, and one pure order, I've got everything I need here. Because I mean, you can see 111. I mean, you need something. You come in here and you just basically just grab it, and it fills it right up, which is kind of nice. All right, so now we've got this. So what we're gonna do, and ta-da, right click, and it used 25 of everything. So now, assuming I did this correctly, see, this is the gap I'm not sure about. I think these really do need to be one closer. So we're just going to move those in for now, which actually makes it a little better because you can kind of see the pattern. See, to me now they just look too close, but we'll just go with this and see. We can always move it later. So there's our runic matrix. Right now it is not going to do anything because we do not have the Essentia to power it. So that's next. So what I'm going to do now is get together all the materials necessary to create the alchemical furnace, which we need to create our Essentia. We'll also need warded jars. So I'll get all those materials set up because you can kind of look at it here. Alchemy. Is it alchemy? Yes, right here. So this is how we make it. A crucible, which so you got to take a cauldron and smack it with the wand. Furnace and some of those stones. And then, 5 and 5 of water and fire. And then these are the other components we can make, the filter, and then here's our alchemical construct, which we use later on to make our fancy auto alchemy gadget that I'm going to get to, which is automated alchemy, which is alchemy without all the purple sludge, which is good. So I'm going to get us to the point where I've got all the materials gathered together to make a furnace and several warded jars and some piping, and so we can get a really basic setup going so we can get what we need to start creating the components for the decanting core, which is going to involve moving our crucible down here from upstairs so we can make a core and then make the pieces we need. Once I get everything all lined up, I will be back. And we're back. Alright, so what we need to do, we want an alchemical furnace. So we looked at this before. So alchemical furnace. So that is what we've got right here. I'm making 2 of them to begin with because 2 is better than 1. So we're going to start out with that, grab our wand, move on to the next component, which is piping. I had to remember what that was. So pipes. So a little couple quicksilver droplets. You get 9 of these per quicksilver, which you get by smelting the cinnabar, wrong chest, in a furnace. So each one of these is going to give us 8, so lots. And insufficient V. I ran out of Ordo. That's going to be a pain. Luckily, we don't need a ton of those right now. We do need some water to get ourselves some warded jars. How much water do we have? 15. Good enough. That gives us 17 jars. No idea how that math works. Oh, wait, 15. There it goes. Now, this is where it's going to bite us, because now we need some water and some order because we need these filters. So, order. I don't think these things have been left alone long enough to regen. And stupid Enderman. Get bats down here if you have those things left out. Oh, 26. That'll do. That'll help us a little bit. Okay, it's eating all the Ordo out of that one. Okay, get some water out of this one. This does screw up the see this node. It should not be dead. It's because I drained this node and then this one just basically sapped it. So I lost probably 30 or 40 Peridito out of this, but the nodes are all over the place, so I'm not really that concerned. Especially with the teleposer, it's really easy to move them around. So we don't have to worry about it there. Alright, so we've got some order. Now we need our filters. I'm only making 2 to begin with because we need our 2 to go into here. I should probably have made 4. Hindsight is fantastic. So we'll grab 2 gold, and what this is a silverwood plank. Standard plank rules. 1 piece of silverwood log gives you 4 planks. So that one's pretty easy to do. And then it's a plank, 2 gold bars, a wand. There we go. And I'm doing this because a lot of things break down into, well, let's put it this way. Most things don't break down into a single element when you furnace them. So it's best to have a couple of these that you can break them into. So we'll do this, grab 2 of those. Now we need some room So we're just going to put one here, and these are by no means permanent. They would actually drive me insane if they were permanent. I may not even end up using this one right away. It depends on what we're going to be breaking down. So I'll have to look and see what's necessary. So now we've got that. We've got our worded jars and we've got our pipes. So what normally you would do, we put a jar here, and then that comes down here, and we can easily put a jar here, and pipe, and pipe. So now the catch being with this is this little hole right here, this square, you can put a label there, which will mean that it'll only take in that type of essentia. Okay, apparently I'm tired. If you had those labels there, it would mean that, if you had Ignis here and Terra here, if you broke down something that by some freak chance contained both those two odd elements together, only the one for the label would come out of this alembic and go into this jar, and the other one would come into this jar. If you don't, it's entirely possible that you have Terra here, but you have Ignis building up in this one, which basically jams the entire system. The other alternative would be, which is probably what I'm going to be doing with this one, actually I don't need that one, is you can manually take these out. You hold in the jar in your hand, you right click it, it will take it out and put it in the jar. So let's do that. Now, because of the way we have this set up, you can see that now I can put another jar here because the jars will only connect at the top. So there, now we've got that. Crossbow. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to figure out what types of essentia we need to get that decanting core. I'm going to start breaking them down, which you look in here in the interface, takes your standard fuel, and whatever it's going to break down here, it builds up in this cylinder here and is slowly pulled out into these and separated and then put into the jars. So that's what I'm going to work on now. I'm going to go grab down here. You can see, where am I at? Right here. The Wither Skeleton farm is doing very well. While I was on vacation, Newt actually had to come in here and he had to upgrade these and turn them into void barrels for the sloth shards and the charcoal, because it actually backed the entire system up because they filled up. So I have no end of coal, so I'm not really all that concerned about it. So, all right, back to what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going in. I'm going to find out what is necessary, start getting these materials together, pull together the materials necessary to create the animation core, because I believe we need a empty, or I can't remember what we need to as a prerequisite for the decanting core. So I'll pull our system from there down here, get it set up somewhere temporarily. Once I have everything ready so that I can make the core, make the intermediate core, and then do the infusion, I will be back. Alright, so a couple seconds after I stopped recording, I open up my book here and I go, okay, we're going to make us, what do we need to do to make the decanting core? Now see, all the time I'm talking about the decanting core, I'm thinking about the alchemy core, which is an infusion recipe, which we'll learn just, because we can, which requires the decanting core. So the whole time I'm thinking and talking about getting materials together, I'm thinking about this one, which requires this one. Now, this one is a straight recipe. So, nice and easy. So we're going to make that. To do that, first thing we're going to need is an actual golem animation core, which, nice and easy. You can see, just straight crafting. So, made some nitors, which is basically you throw, well, here, let's just do this. 3 of these, 1 of these, which basically what you need is, I think it's 3 Ignis, 3 Lux, and 3 Potentia. And a piece of glowstone. Ow, ow, ow. Alright, let's try this again. So, 3, and Nitor. Nice and easy. Actually, those don't need to be in that one. What I'm using is Tinker torches and normal torches. A standard torch gives you 1 Lux per. A Tinker's torch gives you 1 Potentia and 1 Ignis. No idea why, but works out fantastic because there's no waste. So let's store some of this stuff. Nitor is useful because it's a light source as well. Alright, so with this, we need our wand. Don't look at that. And golem animation core. Now, what we're going to need to make this, so this is going to be a standard alchemy recipe, so we need 4 aqua and some void. So what we're going to do, pop back over here because I don't have those two memorized yet. Our aspect list. So water we can get from all those fun things. Let's see. Potions. I can do potions. And then vacuous. Vacuous from all these things. Bottles. Bottles we can do. Let's go take a look and see what we got down here. These witches tend to provide a few bottles. Bottles are worth... Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so bottles. Now what we needed was water. Potions. Ooh, that's messy. Let's not do it that way. That will just be a disaster. Let's go up here real quick. Ish. And let's see what these are worth. 5. Yeah, that'll give us less runoff than the other one would. So we need 5 of those, 5 of those, and 1 of these. So let's fly back down there. We're going to make ourselves a decanting core, and then we'll go set it up. So we need way over here. Now I'm going to end up with some goo left over, which is another reason why I've got these cores, or these nodes in the walls here, to prevent things from going horribly south when I inevitably screw them up. Alright, so we need 5 decanting core. Yay! And now you can see we've got some herba and some air left, so bonk and sludge. So, piece of handy dandy dirt here. This, as far as I know, this is not an actual fix. Like, I think it still does kind of leave a remnant behind that you can't really see, but I haven't seen proof of that yet. Alright, so what we're going to do is manual. Let's just take a look here and make sure. So go back into golems, we go back into decanting. Okay, so a decanting golem doesn't have any modifiers yet. So like it doesn't tell us, if you add this core to it, it gets, less dumb in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have one of those. Just in case. Because you never know if it's going to unlock something else. And why can I not think of what I removed from there? Oh well. So axe, we'll put that bell there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom over to the spot that Newt's working in, which is where he's doing the witchery. He's actually moving along really quick. I mean, all things considered here. He's AFK down there. He's actually watching a Dota match right now. Oh, he is moving. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little golem here. Oh, where'd he put it? He moved it. Ah, here it is. I wonder if the golem can get water from that. Let's find out here. Let's see here if he wants it to fill the cauldron or the kettle. Which, I'm a horrible speller. So look at that. They're pots now. And we upgraded to 151 earlier today. Like you can see how those are transparent? And look, now they're not. But now they are. No idea what's causing that. They're still there. I mean, even when they're oopsie. Come here. So even when they're there, or not there, you can still right click on them. Oh wow, 3 buckets, really. Alright, now I'm trying to remember here if I attach him to the inventory. Yeah, let's just give him his soul and find out. So now we need bell. And bell? No? Would that work? No. Okay. Remember with golems, do not shift right click unless you really mean it. Okay, how about this? Can I go here? To here? Huh? Huh? Oh, you don't consider that a water source? Seriously? Okay. Oh, yeah, like that. Don't do that. Luckily, he's only got 2 things in him, so I didn't lose anything. Otherwise, that would have been a pain. Alright, so what we're going to do... There's probably a way to get this to work, but I'm just going to go grab some water and make an infinite well. Technically, if you fly like this and use the air sigil, it moves you along quite quickly. It's really nice. So, 2 buckets. I'll let him fix this later. Unfortunately, since I'm wearing my flight belt, I can't, I don't have the speed boost anymore, which the speed boost and step assist, losing that kind of was a bit of a bummer, but, you know, flight. Alright, so let's see. I wonder, is he doing anything in here? Where are chunk lines? Did I actually push the button right, or did I push it multiple times? Okay. So we're just going to do this. Nice, pure, kind of ghetto. And I'll put that there. Put him... let's have him sit right here. Put his soul back on him. And I did hit an extra time. There we go. And here. Yay! So now he will grab... Right. Golem pathing. Gotta love it. So I'm wondering if we sunk a well into the ground and targeted the top of it, maybe he would be able to do it. So... Oh, no, come back. There we go. No, nuts. Come here. Did I get him? I did. Oh. You know what? Splat. Yes, that was a shift left click. Alright, so let's do this again. And that again. This again. And here. No? Please? So much easier. Alright, so all I'm doing here is right-clicking on the golem to select him, so you can see he's selected and he's active on this container because we placed him on it. So what I did when I put him down is I'm targeting the side of here and I'm left-clicking, or right-clicking. So, which makes that his active container. So now I've got him selected with the bell, and I come over here and I tell him this is the water source you want to mess around with. And let's just do this. He's got that torch. Oh, seriously? Hi? There we go. So now he will take his sweet time running back and forth, refilling this, and eventually he'll stop and he'll just stand there and he'll wait for Newt to use up the rest of the water. And then that moves on. So, remarkably not painful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run back over, and now we are going to do an infusion, because I did find one we can do. I don't have an immediate use for it, but it will be used eventually. And what we are going to make is an artifice, whatever. Artifice. There we go. Words. We're going to make this, a lamp of growth. So to make a lamp of growth, first thing you need is an actual arcane lamp. So I've got those materials right here. Very straightforward recipe. The only oddball thing is this daylight sensor. This is a normal alchemy recipe that we made with the 6 torches and a piece of glowstone. So we're going to make one of these. These things are actually really nice. I'm going to make more of them. Probably place them under the floors here, because I think it's like a 16 block radius. They create little like invisible light sources. So this whole area will be lit up. So this goes in the middle, so right click. I did expand this back out because I'm really hoping it'll work, otherwise it's going to be a pain in the butt. Now, what we need here. So, if we look down at this, so we're flying to make this a little easier. So we come in here and we can see, so we've got it, it's on a 6 point here. So, point on the top and the bottom is where the gold goes. So if we look at it here, take that out of there, this is going to be our point. So right click to put the gold there, right click to put the gold there. Now it doesn't really matter, I could do it from this side or that side, or if I really wanted to, this side or that side. It's as long as they are properly symmetrical and lined up, it will work. without causing explosions. So right to the left of the gold on either side that's where we put the earth shards. So we're going to grab our earth shards, and we're going to go here and here. And so okay, there's the left. Now the bone meal goes to the right in the same location. So you can see I got it over there. So it goes here and here. So now if you look at it, you can, it's a little hard to look from this angle, but you can see that they're balanced. If in relative terms to that matrix, this one's x and z coordinates were inverted. So if it was a positive x and a positive z, it would become a negative x and a negative z. It flips over. So as long as it can go, okay, I'm here, and it mirrors it to the opposite side, okay, I've got another one. That means they're symmetrical, they're okay. It'll do the same thing for here, it's just same thing for everything around here. Same with the jars. Now my hope here is with the jars, it doesn't care as long as it's a jar. That's what I'm going for. That's why you can see I have 4, and I'm hoping this works. So that means everything in here is symmetrical. I have a node in the same location all around. I have jars. This pattern is matched. You can see the pattern in the floor is matched up. And one thing I did a little bit ago, you can see I got 2 skulls up there. While I was gathering materials, is I put a bunch of pretty much all the skulls I had down here. So it's not a ton of them, but hopefully it's within range. So now what I've got here is I've got the materials running around the edge. So we pop this open this up, and there we go. So that's what we need to do. Now we take our wand and we pray this works, otherwise explosions, and right click. Now what it's going to do is it's going to reach out to the different essentias around in these jars and pull out what's necessary. It will pull within the same radius as the instability radius, so I can put it as far out as this line and it will still get it. Now that lightning, I can't remember if that means there's some instability going on. But you can see how it's pulling everything in. So now it started pulling the materials. So I pulled the gold. Now we got to watch it because every once in a while, this is a moderate instability, so it's not really that bad. But it can arc out and knock one of the things off a pedestal. It can do all sorts of weird things that if an item isn't where it needs it to be, so like if it needs an earth crystal next and there are no earth crystals next where it should look for them, it kind of gets angry and it'll start burning up extra materials. It'll start causing flux. It starts causing all sorts of extra things to happen. So it's best usually for one of these, as I get higher in the instabilities, I'll keep extra on my hotbar. So as soon as you hear that pop or you hear like a lightning bolt or something like that happen, you look around what's missing, place another one down, then find the one it dropped. Alright, so done. So we right click and we've got our lamp of regrowth. Now this needs herba to function, so technically, where's my herbager? Herbager is right here. So grab that, and I put my warded jars away, so I get from putting everything away, and a piece of pipe. Alright, so now I just want to make sure I keep that in place. So now if we go, lag spike. Let's take a look here. No, we're not running that bad. We're running at about 8. Earlier it was upwards of 19 because I was sitting inside of another random age I created. Made a bit of a lag mess. So this is where he's growing his trees. So I've got a couple of these agar carnations here burning power out of that thing and creating it. But what we can also do is we can take this jar and we can stick it down somewhere. Let's just put it right here. Take a pipe, stick it in top there. Come on. Top. Wait. Did they change that? This is a pipe, right? Well, that's going to be a royal pain if they change that working. Should work just fine. Alright, there we go. Connect. Alright, good. The lamp on top. Lamp lights up. Lamp is green. Now, if we watch this, I want to say it's every time it applies a growth tick to something, it takes some herba. But I'm not sure of the exact burn down for it. So like if we were to cut one of these trees down and actually manage to get a sapling, let's see if we can do that. This one is fantastic because you get a wheat farm going. Every seed is worth one herba. So you get an alchemical furnace with one alembic hooked to a pipe system that goes through some jars and into one of these things, and it becomes self-replicating as long as you have enough wheat and a method to automatically harvest it and put it in there and keep that thing filtered. It works just fine. So it'll actually feed itself and continue growing, and it just kind of grows exponentially. Eventually you'll have tons of seeds. So every now and then, this thing, there it goes. You can kind of see it right there. Eventually it will grow, and that'll kind of speed things up a little bit for him. So spruce. So that's kind of what we're doing there. Let me see. So we got that grown. We got our infusion array. We got our furnace. We got some infusions done. We got our golem going. So we're doing really good. Just going to run through a couple things. That's a really tall one. Run through a couple things that I have done in the last day or so while we've been doing this. As part of my research, I made a whisper weed. The whisper weeds, where are you at? Apocrypha. Whisper weed. This thing, it's a standard. I did make this off camera. It's just a standard crafting recipe. It just takes the essences to make. The envy room was the only thing that was really a pain. Everything else we really had already. But this little guy takes a lot of power. He's got a redstone root, so I can turn him off. So right now he's turned on. If I stand here for a while, you'll start seeing research components start showing up in the lower right, like I was scanning things. And that helps a lot, because I had the bench. You can see him down there. I just got an Ignis and a Paradito. So I had the bench sitting right here, and so all I had to do is go AFK here every once in a while and come back, and it would burn off the power, and I could do my researches. That's the only way I was able to get through it and still be sane. And you can see I did make a few of the lamps, and I took some of the mana beans I had from found out there. The mana beans will only grow in a magical biome and on the bottom of logs. So you can see here I've got a magical biome. That's from one of the nodes I have down in the basement down there. You can see I got another one right here. I've just been kind of growing them whenever I can to get the nodes. And one thing you will notice, we are at a level 5 blood altar now. I did kill a couple more withers and got the beacons in place. So that's going. So this is a tier 5. We haven't created the next tier of blood orb yet, because that requires a demon and summoning, and I wanted to do that on camera, so if anybody wants to see it, they can see it. And next thing, this is where I started moving the pure nodes. So you can see it's right there. So it's just inside of the wall. The idea being, you can see I'm standing in a magical forest right here, so it's starting to spread. So from this one as well, that one's in the corner there. So the idea will be next, I think I'm going to place one. I'm going to let these spread for a while, and where they stop, I'm going to try and figure out their range and get another one placed so I can link them all the way up as far around as my attention span will let it go. And just the idea being to eventually be able to contain things. This will be like our containment ring, because we do want to create a taint biome and a demon invasion from blood magic, and then the taint biome from Thaumcraft eventually. Other thing, these trees. So if we look at our map, I got a tree to the west, the north, the east, and the south. So you kind of look around, you can see the town is now ringed with trees. And it was kind of an idea we were dinking around with, just to make it look like the town is encased, kind of encircled. So we may add more, we're not sure yet. Depends on how they look. I think that's really pretty much it. We got let's go back over them again. Got the infusion array built. Got the alchemical furnace created. So we were able to get some Essentia, which you can see. Got a little bit of Lux left. You got a little bit of Victus left here. Then if you go over here, you can see I got a bunch more. I got 64, because each of these jars holds 64 of their aspect. I got Corpus, got a bunch of that. Got some Bestia. This all came from raw chicken. Well, I think I used up 44 pieces of raw chicken to get all that, plus that one over there. So it worked out really well. Use this little one here to get herba using seeds, because like I was saying, they only produce one element, one herba. So just put a jar there, toss some seeds in there, walk away, come back, it's done. Same as using for torches. We got that done. Created our pipes, our jars, our limbics, our furnace. We created our basic golem core in the crafting table after we created some nitor. We used that in the crafting grid to create our decanting core, which we have set up over there for Newt now. Not quite working ideally, but I may poke at that and see if I can find a water source that's capable of interacting with, so we don't have to use a infinite water source. We did our lamp of regrowth, which was our infusion. So now you've seen how the infusion array works. Now with some of these, since I have done an infusion now, and I've done some herba or some Essentia breakdowns, I'm probably going to start kind of stockpiling some of these things as I find things I need, just so I can get a bit of a stock running. And I've also got there's a couple infusions I may want to make. I'm not sure yet. I want to get a chopper golem going that'll help out Newt and our wood supply up top as well. So those are kind of plans for the future. I'm not sure exactly when. Next thing we'll probably go over will more than likely be the ritual of what is it? I think it's not binding. I can't remember which one it is. To summon the demon and blood magic, so we can get our demon blood shard and get into the next tier there. So I think with that, we're going to wrap up here, and hopefully everyone enjoyed the episode. Now, I haven't been saying this at all because, I mean, honestly, I really don't have that many people watching, so it hasn't really been a concern. But if you do find something interesting in these episodes, they prove to be amusing or anything like that, please remember to hit the like button down bottom. Just kind of gives me an idea that people are actually watching these other than a view count, and we'll kind of go from there. But otherwise, I will talk to you later. Thank you for watching.